And good morning, I'm Robin Marsh. Right now, News 9 at 6, a person is shot at a bar near Southeast 44th and High in Oklahoma City. What witnesses say happened during that shooting?
I'm Lisa Monahan in for Colby Thielen. Oklahomans are headed to the polls today, and on the OKC ballot, a historic bond worth $2.7 billion. We're breaking it down for you ahead, plus this.
My first thing was safety. Get the boys, let's get out of here. It just became kind of traumatizing for the kids.
Crazy moments at a Metro youth football game as a heated confrontation is caught on camera. I'm Lacie Lowry. Coming up, why police had to get involved just to keep the peace.
Live from downtown Oklahoma City, Oklahoma's own News 9 starts now.
Good morning, Oklahoma. 6 o'clock on your Tuesday morning. Yesterday was so cool and nice. Sleeping weather, honestly.
Some good napping weather.
I know.
It was nice just to have a little moisture, open up the front door and thought,
fall is here.
Yes.
It's staying, right?
Not
Yeah,
so fast.
pulled out the hoodies, the sweatpants, everybody's ready to go.
Hold on tight, Lacey. Things heating back up today.
It was another false fall, guys. We've had several of them so far in 2025. We had the cloud cover, a north wind in parts of the state. We stayed in the 60s all afternoon. We're still in the 60s this morning, but now all that cloud cover has moved out and we are in for a sunny, warm day. Mathis home cam right now, a little light fog around. Skies right now pretty clear, some high thin cloud cover with some of that moisture. That will be gone in the next few hours. 63 is the temperature now at Will Rogers. We still have some fog going on from Watonga to Hinton to Weatherford. Thick fog going on from Alva back over to Freedom, where a dense fog advisory is in effect in our far northwest counties. Winds are very light. They're 5, maybe 10 miles per hour at maximum. And after the moisture yesterday, even though it was light, I'll show you those rainfall totals coming up in full weather, but they were very light with the exception of Enid. Everyone else with the moisture still kind of in the low levels. Fog not out of the question, patchy here and there over the next couple of hours. The rain still ongoing in parts of northwest Oklahoma. Meanwhile, our big storm system off the west coast is going to be driving wind and storm chances as we head into the end of the week. On Next Gen Live, still a little light rain up near Byron and then back to Buffalo and Laverne. Temps are in the lower and mid 60s on your Tuesday morning, and we are back to the 80s this afternoon. So dress accordingly. We're talking lower mid 80s. It'll feel hot with sunshine. How hot for the rest of the week and fall break, and more on those storm chances Friday. Some could be severe. I'll have the latest at 6:15.
Lacey, thanks so much. Headlines right now. We know one person is killed in a motorcycle crash. It happened on the west side of the metro. It was about 10 last night right near Reno and Morgan Road. Authorities tell News 9 the motorcycle was the only vehicle involved and that the motorcycle rider died at the hospital. No name, age have been released. We'll continue to keep you up to date on news9.com.
Well, a suspect is on the run after a shooting at a bar in southeast Oklahoma City overnight. News 9's Brianna Brown joining us from Southeast 44th and High, where that shooting happened. Good morning, Brianna.
Good morning. Yes, right now it's pretty quiet out here this morning, but last night there was a heavy police presence as police are trying to figure out exactly what happened when an altercation led to a shooting outside of a bar. Now, Oklahoma City police tell us that 2 people were involved in an altercation inside of the bar, and then they came out to the parking lot, and that's when one person was shot in their shoulder. Now, that person was taken to the hospital and suffered from non-life-threatening injuries. News 9 also spoke with a witness who says he saw someone speeding away right after the shooting.
A lot of yelling and stuff, and that's whenever gunshots kind of rang off, and you heard somebody saying, somebody was like, "Yo, did y'all shoot him? Did you shoot him?" And then that's somebody jumped in their car and took off.
Police are still working on identifying the suspect, and if you have any information regarding the shooting, you're asked to reach out to Oklahoma City Police. Live in Oklahoma City, Brianna Brown, Oklahoma's own News 9.
Brianna, thank you. And that victim again was rushed to the hospital in recovery now this morning.
The Tecumseh School District cancels classes for the rest of the week as investigators look into new school threats. This closure comes less than 48 hours after a 9th grade Tecumseh student is arrested, accused of planning a school shooting. Now, the Potawatomi County Sheriff's Office says the arrested student told them there were more threats targeting other schools on social media. The school district says Tecumseh is not the target of these new threats, but it did close campuses as a precaution.
Any other threats or anything like that happen, that we will deal with them the same way and do a thorough investigation. And if you threaten to harm our children, you will end up in jail.
Investigators have released no details on these threats. Tecumseh Public Schools says students will return to class next Monday and there will be added security.
It is 6:05 on our Tuesday morning happening today. We can tell you across the metro. Let's take a look. And I had a little fog settling in on the west side of the metro. Lacey's been talking about it. But as far as the morning drive is concerned, everyone moving along A-OK right off I-44. Broadway extension looking good. Out on the east side of the metro as well. And looks like Northwest Expressway moving along A-OK. It is a big day today because it's Election Day. Oklahoma City voters will be deciding on that massive $2.7 billion bond proposal. The bond includes over 500 projects focusing on street improvements, upgrades to city facilities and parks, and a new fire station. Now, property taxes won't be impacted if the bond is passed. If the bond is not passed, property taxes could go down. Polls will open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Look for the results right here on News 9 tonight. Our Kylie Dedman will be live at those polling places today, and we'll be talking with her coming up in just a moment.
That's right. And this morning we are sitting down with the newest candidate to announce their bid for Attorney General. Nick Coffey most recently served as a federal prosecutor in the U.S. Attorney's Office. He brings years of courtroom experience and is pledging to keep politics out of the state's top law enforcement office.
With our political climate, our rhetoric where it is right now as a country, I think Oklahomans want and deserve more than ever an AG that keeps politics out of the Attorney General's office, that leads independently, that calls out corruption and poor conduct wherever they see it.
Our Capitol reporter Haley Hetrick sat down for an exclusive interview with Coffey. Look for her story coming up tonight on News 9.
Well, tensions erupt in the metro at a 5th grade football game over the weekend. It led to a heated confrontation between the team's coaches and the parents.
Guthrie police were called in to keep the peace, and parts of this were caught on camera. News 9's Deanne Stein tells us what led to that chaotic scene.
It's a gladiator sport.
James Rutledge leads a winning 5th grade football team in Shawnee.
We play hard-nosed football.
Riled up at Saturday's game against Guthrie, his boys were dominating, up 30-0 in the 4th quarter.
I guess they couldn't take it.
He said halfway through the 4th, though, Guthrie quit and walked off the field. But their coaches, he claims, crossed the line.
It was honestly heartbreaking, and I was very disappointed.
Parents shared multiple videos with News 9 showing the confrontation unfold.
You see all the signs that they were throwing up, the slitting of the throat, the middle fingers, the cussing.
Guthrie police confirmed they were called to the scene twice and stood by to keep the peace.
My first thing was safety. Get the boys, let's get out of here.
But Rutledge said the taunting continued as they left the stadium.
It just became kind of traumatizing for the kids.
A team already facing adversity ruled out of the playoffs. Rutledge said it's over an unwritten rule. 2 players live in Shawnee but don't attend school there. He's appealing that decision. But for now, not only does he want accountability for Saturday's behavior, he wants his boys to have a shot at the title.
All I want is what we deserve, and that's a bid in the playoffs.
Deanne Stein, Oklahoma's own News 9.
We have reached out to the league and Guthrie coaches, and we did receive a statement after our story originally aired last night. That statement says the Guthrie Youth Football Organization has submitted evidence against Shawnee to the league and will comment after the review. Now, police tell us both sides were confrontational during the incident. The final game before the playoffs is Saturday in Shawnee. Coach Rutledge says his team still plans to play at least until their appeal is decided.
It is 6:10 on our Tuesday morning. We got to see what's going on with the weather. In fact, Lacey got a little fog out there.
It is light fog for sure. You'll notice it as you're heading out on your Tuesday morning drive. Guys, good morning to you. Here in the Bob Mills Weather Center, we're watching the light fog kind of set up shop. Not really impacting visibility in Oklahoma City. It is more dense the farther west that you go. I'll show you the visibility map. Temperatures in the 60s, the low 70s. Sunrise still about an hour and a half away. Back to hot afternoons, but I'm tracking 3 storm systems, severe storm chances, and eventually lows drop into the 40s. That's coming up.
Also ahead, a silver alert in Potawatomi County leads to an hours-long standoff. Coming up, what law enforcement found inside the home and why 2 suspects were arrested. And this.
Forward, be an adult. You did an accident, you made a mistake, it's okay.
Yeah, Metro Man says a motorcycle hit his e-bike, then took off. He's now pleading for the driver to come forward. Ahead.
All right, we got some kids going to the bus stop. Some kids are on fall break. It's kind of a mixed bag this week. Yeah.
Sleeping in and liking it.
Oklahoma City is out.
Oklahoma City Public, yep, all out.
Edmond starts this week.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to know this. I think it
Thursday?
starts tomorrow or Thursday.
What happens with the homeschool kids?
Well, it's a school week. It's a Swope house.
Don't tell the kids.
I have no idea.
They don't even know what fall break is.
I'm calling your daughter.
I hope she's not watching this one. You have school, sweetheart, all week long.
I love it, Lacey.
If you're getting your kiddos up, getting them ready this morning, it's one of those weeks where it's like, okay, what are we doing? How do we dress? There's no rain this morning. There is some light fog, but you do need to know that it's a little on the cool side. We've got 50s, low 60s, highs back in the 80s this afternoon. So dress in layers again. This looks to be our hottest week for the next while. We do have some warm days next week, but I'm telling you, we're about to switch gears here and we're going to lock in fall. We're just not there yet. 66 out the door. We'll see 76 by 11 by 3 o'clock, 84 yesterday. Take a look at the temperatures. If you lived it, you know what I'm talking about. In Oklahoma City, we stayed in the 60s all afternoon. Cloudy, soggy, light rain here and there. Temperatures stayed in the 60s in the northwest. Now these highs that you're seeing for the metro, those were actually around midnight and early in the morning. Then temperatures drop. And then folks in southern Oklahoma, man, what a difference. We told you it'd be a whole different world. Ardmore, Sulphur, McAllister, you were in the 90s. Today you will be a little cooler. We're all headed to the 80s. As far as the fog goes, after the rain, this is the result. Light winds. We have some light fog from Canadian County along I-40. Not really putting a damper on traffic or anything, but visibility is low enough in Woods County. It could be dangerous. Be careful. Visibility less than a quarter of a mile. Enid, the big winner yesterday, 1 inch of rain. Congratulations. We all need it, and you definitely did. 4/10 of an inch in Pawnee. We had 3/10 of an inch in Guthrie. Across most of the metro, it was a 1/10 or less. 1/4 of an inch in El Reno, right along I-44 to the north and west. That's where we told you the rain would be. And look at the rain gauges. It was light. Southern Oklahoma, not a drop. It was very warm yesterday. Now we have cloud cover still streaming in the northwest. We're still getting a few sprinkles this morning. See the big low going on off the coast? That is going to be a big wind maker as it comes down I-40. This morning, that is causing flying, blowing snow in the Sierra Nevada mountain range. As it gets closer, we'll be talking more about it because it's going to ramp up storm chances, maybe even severe weather as we head towards Friday and Friday night. This morning, there goes the rain into Kansas. Still a little rain near Buffalo. Just moved out of Laverne. That's going to head up into Kansas as well. Been watching Will Rogers. I love this shot on our Lucky Star Skycam network from OCCC. If you have an early morning flight, looking good. Getting there, weather is quiet. All systems go. 63 degrees is the temperature at the airport. It's 66 in Stillwater, 65 in Enid, down to 62 in Norman. We've had some upper 50s in low-lying areas in western Oklahoma. Just kind of a calm, tranquil morning with very light winds. Winds are coming back again with that storm out west. We'll show you. Temps in the mid-80s today, still some upper 80s to the south. The record high is 93. We're not doing that today. We had 90s on Sunday. No 90s showing back up. Now, as this storm comes closer to us, look at the big trough. The extent of this goes all the way down into portions of Mexico. This is going to move eastward and eventually eject and lift into the northern plains. What that does for Oklahoma is it pulls back in the Gulf moisture. We turn hot, we turn humid, we turn windy, some clouds stream in on Thursday. Then Friday, we'll be watching closely. Trackers will be geared up, ready to go. David and the team will be watching this closely for you because the ingredients come together for some strong to severe storms. Mainly a wind and a hail threat. but can't rule out a brief tornado with the way this is looking. The timing's still a little bit wonky, coming in late evening, maybe overnight. Some data's a little earlier. We'll fine tune that as it gets closer. The one thing for sure, it's out of here early Saturday, and that means your weekend is dry and much cooler. We'll have many areas that don't get out of the 60s on Sunday. Talk about a fall feel. Monday's hot. Next storm right on its heels. Tuesday, that cold front slams in. More storm chances depending on how much moisture we can get back. And then by the end of next week, yet another storm lined up, bringing us support for rain, thunderstorms, and a lot of wind. Lows for tonight will be in the low 60s. Okay, so quiet tonight, not expecting much fog. Tomorrow, here's your Wednesday, lower in mid 80s. Thursday, maybe a couple degrees cooler just because we have a few more clouds, but well above average. Then storm chances go up. Now, this is not locked in, and this zone can still shift more to the east or even farther to the west for the late afternoon, the evening hours. Storms ahead of the cold front and dry line take off. We'll watch those storms into the late evening and night because they could be wind and hail producers with a low tornado threat. And then early on Saturday through the afternoon, those storms are pressing into eastern Oklahoma again with that severe weather risk. We dry it out from there. 80s the next several days, cooler for the weekend, a high of only 70 Sunday, hot Monday, and then the next storm, guys, look at Tuesday of next week, back in the 60s for highs. Back to you.
Lacey, thanks so much. Well, OU's Joe Castiglione is retiring as the vice president and director of athletics. He tells me this was actually a very hard decision, but he knew it was time to do something a little different.
I remember having a conversation with Toby Keith a couple of years ago, and we had a lot of sometimes late night conversations, and we were talking about things, and he said, hey, why don't you go here? And then he'd ask me, why don't you go there? And I always kept telling him, you know, I wanted to go, but something related to work always got in, you know, in the way.
Well, Joe C. is my next guest in the spotlight. My podcast drops this Thursday at 10:30 on the Oklahoma's own Originals YouTube channel. There's a QR code. You can grab your phone, scan that code. Again, it drops this Thursday at 10:30 in the morning. Can't wait to share more of my conversation with Joe C.
And is he really retiring? I can't see this guy not working.
He said, I actually have a hard time saying the word retire.
Yeah.
He has been on a college campus ever since he went to college as a student
and never
athlete.
Left, yeah.
And he never left. So he and his wife are going to do some traveling, but he actually has some big plans in the works. Can't wait to share more with you on that coming up
He's a wealth
Thursday.
of knowledge, so it's hard to say retired when you think about Josie. I can't wait for your podcast.
I know. So this Thursday morning, right on YouTube, we're so excited about it.
We're always enjoying those conversations. It is 6:20 here on your Tuesday morning. We want to take a look at the roadways because there is some fog out there to report. There are no real trouble spots in the metro right now, no major accidents, but we do have our news trackers out monitoring the roadways for you this morning, and nothing to report in the way of any traffic accidents. So just buckle up, be safe, and we'll keep you posted.
Well, it is time for America's Greatest Homecoming in Stillwater. After the break, we take a look at some of the events for OSU's Homecoming Week. Stay with us. You're watching News 9 this morning. All right, we're talking college football. The 14th ranked Sooners are on the road this weekend trying to shake off that loss to Texas. OU is in South Carolina taking on the Gamecocks. That game this Saturday morning. It's 11:45 kickoff.
And in Stillwater, Homecoming Week underway at OSU. It started on Sunday with the annual Orange Fountain Dyeing, and it continues today with the Harvest Carnival and a chili cook-off. Then Friday, of course, the popular walk-around, and it ends on Saturday with the Sea of Orange Parade at 9 a.m. and the Cowboys game against the Cincinnati Bearcats happening at 7 p.m. I'll tell you what, that walk-around's awesome.
Yes. And there's always the weather to be aware about on Friday walk-around, Lacey.
It never fails. We'll have some rain and storm opportunities right now. That may be well after all the festivities. We'll see how the timing of that shakes out. Big events happening this weekend, guys. It is also youth deer gun season. It starts Friday. It's always time with fall break, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We'll get into the details of your forecast for that in a minute. This morning, I want to show you this picture. This was taken a couple of weeks ago, but it's so awesome in the early mornings right at first light to watch the Oklahoma wildlife and those whitetail, and you kind of start to see their silhouettes. If you're a hunter, you know that you sit there and any little thing that even slightly moves, just that deer. And then it gets lighter and lighter, and
it's
you're
a
like,
tree.
no, that's a bale of hay.
Your eyes are playing tricks on you.
But that's what happens. I love that picture. Thank you, Christy.
That's
and
gorgeous.
Hey, for drivers too, this morning and into the evenings, you got to be careful. Watch, the deer movement is becoming much more active. Now, as we talk about the forecast for today, we're in the 60s, some light fog, light steel winds. It's very calm this morning. Temperatures are going to be a little above average, and this afternoon it's going to be hot, 84 once again by 3 o'clock with sunny skies. Now, as far as the weekend goes, are you taking someone hunting this weekend? I hope that you are, because this is lifelong memories that you will be creating for our Oklahoma youth. Friday is opening day. Temperatures will be on the warm side. Saturday, it's a north wind, strong north wind behind the cold front. Sunday, a north breeze as well. Lets up through the day. Sunday highs will be in the 60s, low 70s. So it looks great to get into the outdoors. You'll notice I put severe on Friday. We'll talk about the threats, what to expect, more on the timing. It's all coming up. Back to you guys.
Ahead, a new law in Oklahoma will soon require companies to report any data breaches to the Attorney General. Coming up, how the law adds new protection for your most sensitive information.
And a new plaza in downtown Oklahoma City will honor Clara Luper's fight for equality. The emotional reaction from her daughter as she sees the monument in real life.
You're watching Oklahoma's own News 9 this morning.
6:30 on this Tuesday morning, taking a live look from the state capitol. Calm out there right now in central Oklahoma. Lacey's going to have the forecast. We do want to mention today is the National Day of Remembrance for Charlie Kirk. It would have been his 32nd birthday today. The House of Representatives passed a resolution honoring today, October 14th, as National Day of Remembrance for Charlie Kirk. As we welcome you back here to News 9. Good morning, everyone. Charlie Kirk's Turning Point USA with a big event coming up in Norman just in 2 days.
Yeah, it's on Thursday, 6:30, the Turning Point Tour. And there's 3 speakers. Governor Kevin Stitt is actually going to be one of them.
Savannah Chrisley is the other. Russell Brand will also be there. They've had so many people registering for the free event. They've actually had to move it now to Lloyd Noble, so that'll be Thursday night, and we'll be following that story.
Unfortunately, that event will be inside.
Yeah, hopefully, so right? Yes, that's good. Yeah.
We're warming back up again today as we come to you in the Bob Mills Weather Center, Lacey. Another hot one in the forecast.
Yeah, back to the 80s. Our average is in the 70s, and we were below that yesterday. We had cloud cover. We have rain as a result. We've got some fog settling in this morning. Visibility is pretty good across much of the region, and actually many of these values have improved over the last hour. Visibility still the worst up near Alva, up into Woods County, back to Freedom. Now, we had the cold front that moved in and kind of fizzled. We're still in the 60s. It's 70 in Dallas. Look at the chilly temperatures up to the north. Our next cold front, it hits late Friday. Between now and then, we are on that warming trend. We are heating things back up. Tracking a little rain for you this morning in our Panhandle and in northwest Oklahoma. The rain today will stay in the Panhandle, and what we're seeing in the northwest is continuing to kind of make its way off towards the east. We've had a couple showers from Lamont back to Kremlin that may make it to Newkirk and Renfro. Little light rain north of Buffalo, lifting northeast as well. 63 is where we're starting the day. That's a live look on our Lucky Star Skycam network. Live from Mathis home, a little bit of haze, a little bit of moisture from light fog in the area. Temps are in the lower mid 60s, looking good as you head out on your Tuesday, and no weather woes today. We are dry. Hey, the weather woe might be that we are dry. We need rain, more of it for sure. Temperatures in the mid 80s, the upper 80s to the south, and in full weather. We'll talk more about what to expect for the fog timeline. Back to hot afternoons for sure, but I'm tracking 3 storms. Each of them have strong cold fronts with them. What does that mean for your weekend? What does that mean for that severe weather risk? It's going up. The latest in just a few minutes.
A bizarre crash scene in northwest Oklahoma City, and this morning we're trying to figure out where the driver went. The driver took off from this crash. Take a look. This was all last week on the I-35 service road near Britain. Wow. Pretty bad crash. Corey Cashmere is the one videoing this. He sent us the video, says the car's flipped up on its roof. So much damage. There's 2 huge boulders, stones in the middle of the road. Corey said those were off on the side of the road, and then after the crash, they ended up in the middle of the road. We reached out to Highway Patrol, the Oklahoma Highway Patrol. They tell us they found the car completely empty, the keys still in the ignition, the driver nowhere to be found. It's still unclear what caused the crash and whether the driver has been located.
It is 6:33. The man convicted in a deadly shooting at Rose State College is set to be formally sentenced today. The shooting happened at the Midwest City campus. This was back in 2023. Brandon Morissette was found guilty of shooting and killing R.J. Long back in August of that year. A jury convicted him and recommended that he serve life without parole. The formal sentencing will be at 11 a.m. today in Oklahoma County District Court.
An Oklahoma City man now pleading for help after he says he was hit from behind by a motorcycle while out riding his e-bike. He says the driver and passenger took off before police responded to the scene. News 9's Jennifer Pierce reports.
I'm sorry. James Elix not only has a broken bike and bones, he has a broken spirit. Elix lost his only mode of transportation last Wednesday. He was riding to the store on his e-bike near Southeast 4th and Grand Boulevard when he says he was hit from behind by a motorcycle.
I didn't hear no screeching of brakes or nothing. I just felt impact. Boom!
Elix says he flew off his bike, causing injuries to his right foot, legs, back, and head.
A girl approached me, and who I initially thought was a witness, which was the driver of the bike, asked me, "Oh my God, are you okay?" And
Elix says the woman had a male passenger, but they took off when the ambulance showed up.
he was driving off as they were putting me in an ambulance, and I was trying to tell them, hey, there's the guy, he's getting away. Somebody needs to be here. There's no police came yet to catch him.
Elix hopes someone at the park near the crash saw something, or the hit-and-run suspects turned themselves in.
Come forward, be an adult. You did an accident, you made a mistake, it's okay. At the end of the day, I'm not trying to have you sent to jail or anything like that. I would like to get my bills paid if you can help from the injury you caused me, because I have no insurance, and replace my bike, because that's all I have.
Jennifer Pierce, Oklahoma's Own News 9.
Now, police say they do not have a description of the suspects on that motorcycle. They're asking for anyone with information to call Crime Stoppers at that number you see right there on your screen, 235-7300.
A tiger preserve in Hugo, Oklahoma is closing weeks after a handler is killed in a tiger attack. Ryan Eastley was attacked while performing in front of a crowd last month. Now, Growler Pines Tiger Preserve is announcing the closure, saying, quote, "The spirit lives on through its animals, its mission, and the countless memories it created." The state wildlife department is still investigating that deadly attack. Your time now, 6:36, and we have a quick check of traffic this morning. There's a live look on the Lucky Star Skycam network that's showing all of the interstates here in the metro, and a bug on your bottom left screen. Get off that screen. Give me some Windex. All right, everything looking good there. And then a live look from our Lex Stanfield. He is heading to the Broadway extension northbound on 235 right now. He says everything's looking good. We'll check again with traffic in the next 10 minutes.
Other headlines this morning: a new law in Oklahoma actually puts protections in place for your data. It's the most frustrating thing when there's a security breach. The Now Security Breach Notification Act requires companies to report data breaches to the AG's office. So this would allow our Attorney General to investigate how the breach happened and whether there were reasonable safeguards in place. A cybersecurity expert says the new law offers protections for biometric data, including fingerprint and iris scans.
Really what it's doing is it's taking cybersecurity for businesses, and it's, rather than just being a mere suggestion, it's becoming a legal requirement. So if you are holding people's sensitive data, it's expecting you to be able to put the things in place to secure it.
Yeah, it's a big trust there. That new law here in Oklahoma goes into effect on January the 1st.
Well, a special time in Oklahoma City history will soon have a permanent spot here in downtown. Crews are putting the final touches on a bronze monument honoring the historic civil rights movement led by Clara Luper back in 1958. Now, the statue stands at the corner of Robinson and Main in downtown Oklahoma City. And that's where Luper and her students peacefully protested with a sit-in at Katz Drug Store. We talked with Clara's daughter, Marilyn, who helped bring the vision to life.
I've watched it from when we had it on the sheet of typing paper to now. It makes me cry to know that she gave it all in, everything she had, to make this democracy a reality.
Oh, she must be so proud. We are taking you inside the design process for Oklahoma City's new Clara Luper National Sit-In Plaza. Our special series continues this week. Watch Monument to a Movement Thursday night at 10.
The design is beautiful, too. You walk up, it's so lifelike, this statue.
Yes, it's very large.
Like you're right there in the moment.
Yeah, you feel like you're at the counter with them. It's right here by the TV station in downtown Oklahoma City, right off of Robinson, right at about 5th Street.
There you go. All right, let's get over to the Bob Mills Weather Center. Check in with Lacey Swope. How are we looking at 6:30, Lace?
The fog has actually improved, guys, so we're looking pretty good across the Oklahoma City metro. Still more dense up into Woods County. And as we go through the day, we're talking warming conditions. In fact, we get warm. We get muggy, windy over the next few days. By Friday, we may have severe storms to deal with. We'll talk about the threats, the latest timing, and we've got the very latest 9-day forecast in the Bob Mills Weather Center coming up.
6:42 on your Tuesday morning. If you're just waking up, we were greeted with a little bit of fog this morning, but hopefully that's clearing out now.
Yeah, we need it.
We're getting improvement, yeah, for sure. And temperatures are in the 60s. We're actually 10 degrees cooler than this time yesterday. It was so very warm. We had record warm lows yesterday. Now it's cool in the morning, but the afternoon is going to be back in the 80s. I know. Get ready. We've got these ups and downs, and definitely over the next several days, you're going to notice a warming trend. Lows are getting a little warmer. Afternoon highs are getting a little warmer. But I just want to show you our morning lows, because one of the big questions is, when is it going to feel like fall? When is it going to stay like fall? I get that everywhere I go. And I get it, because it has been so incredibly warm. Well, look at next week. Lows in the 50s. In fact, there are a couple mornings starting Wednesday. We're in the 40s. That will feel cold. We'll have 30s in the state the way it looks. We've got some strong cold fronts headed our way. But for fall break, our mornings are on the mild side, and our afternoon highs will be in the 80s. I'll have your full 9-day coming up. We had rain yesterday. That just socked us in with cloud cover, light showers. And with that, there's still some remnants of that moisture in the low levels, and we've had some light fog. Hasn't been thick at all in the metro, but you get into northwest Oklahoma, we've had some areas from basically Ellis, Woodward to Woods County where it's been more dense. It's starting to slowly improve. I think now and between now and 9 a.m., it just gets a little bit better. We may have a little more fog settle in the metro over the next couple of hours. It usually happens close to sunrise. There goes the rain, though, from yesterday. I think we'll have more rain in the Panhandle. We've got a little rain in north central Oklahoma and the big storm in the west. That is going to drive those severe storm chances later this week. There goes the rain up in north central Oklahoma into Grant and Garfield County. It's very patchy, very light. Sprinkle or two along Highway 81, back from Medford down to Lamont, heading into Kay County. And then the rain going on from Buffalo to the north, lifting up towards Kansas. In fact, a lot of this is cleared out. Very light haze now, and you can still see a little bit of starlight on our Lucky Star Sky Cam network. We're still about an hour away from sunrise. 63 is your temperature. 62 in Woodward, 63 in Hobart. It's 61 in Ardmore. It looks great to get out, go for a long walk this morning. Light winds. Winds are a little stronger in the Panhandle, and even there, they're not crazy. Your hour-by-hour forecast, we're starting to get a little bit more fall color to our leaves across Oklahoma, noticing that every single day. If you have some of those leaves or something you're seeing that looks very fall-like, give us those pictures. Send them to us. You can email them to us, pics@news9.net. Love to see that and see the scenery change, because it is happening. And over the next couple of weeks, we'll really see some of those vibrant colors. Temps in the 60s to the 70s, eventually the 80s today. 86 in Ada, 84 in Lawton, 86 in Ardmore. A very warm day. Moisture still riding up with the subtropical jet stream over the Panhandle. So we'll have some storms, or rain chances, I should say, in the Panhandle. For the rest of us, we're dry, and it's all about this big low that's pivoting off the west coast, dumping heavy snow in the Sierra Nevada mountain range. By the way, winter storm warnings are in effect in California. That's going to come down I-40 and then lift up through the plains. What happens for Oklahoma, we have south winds that continue. That's going to tap into Gulf moisture, and that's going to bring that moisture fetch up over the state. Thursday, we'll likely notice that in the form of cloud cover, and we won't be as hot Thursday because humid air does not heat up as quickly as dry air. By late Friday, I think Friday into the evening, into the overnight, storm chances go up across Oklahoma, all with the cold front and the dry line moving in. And we may see some stronger severe storms Saturday in the far southeast and portions of East Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas. Behind that, north winds and much cooler. Your weekend coming up is going to be very fall-like. Make your outdoor plans. Make your fall plans. Go to the pumpkin patch. It's going to be a great weekend. Then Then as we head into next week, Monday's hot. Tuesday, next storm comes in. If we can get enough moisture, we may have severe weather with that system. Next storm coming in, we'll also have to watch jam-packed ball of energy coming up at the end of next week. So much more active on your 9-day. Tonight, we're not very active at all. We're in the low 60s too. We're about 10 to 15 degrees above normal. Highs for tomorrow into the lower and mid 80s, or right around 80 degrees coming up for your Thursday. South winds a little stronger, cloud cover a little thicker, and that sets the stage for Friday. Sometime in the late afternoon into the early evening, we'll monitor storms. Trackers will be out. We'll watch for these. There's a chance they make it into the metro and press eastward overnight. That threat for large hail and damaging winds will be there, and there may be a low tornado risk as well. So for your 9-day, it's warm. Plan for it the next few days. Storm chances late Friday into early Saturday, and then we're dry for the weekend. Much cooler, hot Monday, and that next storm, guys, early next week really cools us back down. Back to you.
In Tecumseh, a silver alert for a missing 70-year-old man leads to a standoff, 2 people arrested, and the discovery of a man's body. The Potawatomi County Sheriff's Office says deputies went to a home believed to be where the missing man, 70-year-old Harold Thompson, was. Well, that's when deputies made contact with the missing man's son. They say the son locked himself in the house with another woman and had a gun.
The individual kept, going back and forth in the house. We tried negotiations with a negotiator, didn't work.
This was a 17-hour standoff. The Shawnee tactical team finally went into the home and arrested the missing man's son, John Thompson, as well as Caitlin Cowett for first-degree murder. The medical examiner still needs to identify the man's body found inside the home.
Well, a bomb threat forced an evacuation at Quail Springs Mall. It all happened around 6:30 last night. Investigators say a mall employee received the threat by phone. Police then cleared the mall and gave the all clear about 2 hours later. A father says he and his children were inside the movie theater when it unfolded.
We were about halfway through the movie and they turned the lights on and said we have to go now. We didn't know what was going on.
Well, that threat is still under investigation. We did reach out to the mall's management company, but have not yet heard back.
Well, Oklahomans will be heading to the polls today, and Oklahoma City voters, you do have a historic choice voting on the largest general obligation bond in the city's history. It totals $2.7 billion. News 9's Kylie Dedman is live this morning breaking down the proposed projects. Kylie, good morning.
Robin, good morning. More than 500 infrastructure projects totaling that $2.7 billion general obligation bond, also known as the GO bond, is taking place today. Now, this is the largest in city history. Now, this bond includes 547 infrastructure projects across Oklahoma City. This will fund road and bridge improvements, police and fire facilities, and affordable housing programs. $1.35 billion for streets. Now, this will cover nearly 400 street projects, and more than half of the GO bond funds will go towards streets, traffic flow, and traffic signals. $414.29 million for parks and recreational facilities. This will fund 32 parks and facility projects and 1 trail project. $175 million for economic and community development. Now, another thing that I want to note on this bond proposal, funding related to the OKC soccer stadium. There will be funding for 2 future Olympic sites and additional funding for a new outdoor stadium, plus $25 million to build office space for the OKC Thunder in their new arena. Now, this will be funded by property tax, and no tax rate increase will be required. Now, polls open at 7 this morning, so in about 10 minutes, and they will close at 7 o'clock tonight. Reporting live, Kylie Dedman, Oklahoma's own News 9.
All right, Kylie, we'll be watching the outcome. You can find a sample ballot and your polling location on the State Election Board website. We will also have full breakdown of the bond proposal and the election results throughout the day. Keep it here on news9.com.
Your time now, 6:51. One more check of traffic. Here's a live look on the Lucky Star Skycam network. We are looking at Kilpatrick Turnpike. We got Northwest Expressway right at Lake Hefner Parkway, I-40. So far, we're looking good this morning. No major crashes to report on the interstates. We're checking side streets for you right now, but your commute should be good. And our Lex Stanfield providing this wonderful live shot right here of Skydance Bridge at I-40 just south of downtown. Make it a great Tuesday morning.
Well, hundreds of wiener dogs head to Germany for the International Wiener Dog Races. Coming up after the break, the lighthearted moment that had the crowd cheering at every finish line attempt.
Coming up on the Coca-Cola Porch at 9 a.m., the Science Museum has a new animation exhibit. And at 9, we take a tour of the Animation Academy. Don't miss that live here at 9.
And it is time for the International Wiener Dog Races. Over the weekend, more than 100 little ones from around the world hit the racetrack in Germany. This event's fantastic. There are also some older dogs, even little disabled dogs that were racing. Oh my goodness, I want to see that. Not all dogs understood the sport, though, apparently.
Of course.
They didn't understand
That's the best part.
If there's a ball around, they're getting distracted anyway. Right? They're so fast. They have little short legs.
You know what? Some of the best outcomes is when the dog just walks as slowly as possible.
Like,
the
what is
crowd's
going
like,
on?
come on.
Or gets distracted on the side.
Those little wiener dogs are ornery. Oh, how cute.
That's a good note to end on today.
Oh, my gosh. Pretty fun. All right, what you got this morning?
Oh, take the dog out for a walk this morning. We're just now breaking daylight. Gorgeous colors on the horizon. Sunrise is about 45 minutes away. We'll be in the 80s later today. Low 80s the next several days. Storm chances go up Friday, especially late into early Saturday. And your weekend is looking amazing. Much cooler.
Something for everyone.
We earned it.
We did.
All right, thanks, Lace.
Hey, make it a great day. Thanks for sharing time.